Hey guys, welcome to the reality.
Or welcome back to the reality.
It's episode 41. We have a very special guest today.
Let's welcome Bengy.
On the move.
On the move. Sorry. I'm gonna go by your username. Forgot.
Please. Always an opportunity to promote, eh?
For sure. So for everyone that doesn't know, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So around about 4.5 months ago, I created a TikTok account based on managing a social media content creator house. We can go into that maybe a bit more detail how that came to be. But after 10 days, they moved from the UK to Mexico, and I didn't go with them because I've got a family. And essentially, I went to the other side of the camera and started creating my own content. I had 12,000 followers at the time, and the last few months have gone incredibly well. And here we are today, start talking to you lovely ladies. So yeah.
Okay, nice. So in general, what type of content do you make on TikTok or Instagram or both?
My Instagram, I've been really lazy with it, to be honest with you. It's almost like a graveyard for my TikToks that I'm not happy with, and I just zip it over to Instagram. So that's nothing to go by really. But with regards to TikTok, I don't know. I want it to be age appropriate. I'm 37 years old, so what I don't want to be doing is like dancing around and so forth. I'm definitely keen on making sure if I saw somebody down the street, I wouldn't be embarrassed by what I create. So what I like to do is go on the FYP, scroll through, and more than watch what people are doing, I like to listen to the sound, and then I just picture in my head what I'd like to do with it. So it's nothing ever so original per se. It's definitely trending sounds because I believe that works well with the algorithms. And then it's just a case of my own spin on it, really. I mean, the videos like two best friends aim out kiss, obviously stuff like that, there's only so much you can do with that. But in general, I like to put my own spin on popular content.
Okay,
nice.
And you mentioned before about this content house. How did you go about creating it?
So I actually never created it. It was already running, but they was looking for support in the direction they was going in.
Okay.
And it just so happened one of my very good friends was the owner of the mansion in which all the content was being created. And with the pandemic hitting, for my regular job, I was placed on furlough. So my friend said, look, listen, I've got a really good friend who's on furlough. He's got a lot of history in social media because this is my second go round. Again, we can go into it maybe in a bit more detail, but previously I've been involved with social media. And he said to the content creator himself, the owner of the house, you might want to have a chat with my mate. So I went down for a couple of meetings and we said, do you know what, let's give it a week trial. The week went incredibly well, we all agreed. And then a few days later, right, we're going to Mexico, and it just wasn't a good fit for me. So that's that. That's how it came to be, really. Bit of chance, luck, opportunity, however you want to phrase it.
Okay. And how did you go about like starting to post on social media? And like what led you to post to social media?
Yeah, so the opening sort of, like I said, I didn't have a TikTok account. I wasn't particularly interested in the app. The opening sort of few days around the social content creators was very much based on learning, being a sponge, absorbing what they do, why they do it, and learning what sort of structure they had to their day. And I started understanding that they'd film content, put it in the drafts. They understood when to post it, what sort of time. What I was looking at really was how can we bring in the brand deals for sponsorship, maybe on the ideas of what you're doing. Could you be a bit more believable? What direction do you want to go? Do you want to be inspiring school kids? Do you want to be selling merch? So I was really trying to get an understanding for the individuals and the collective, whilst learning myself a little bit about their particular industry. Essentially what I was doing, I was working on social media with a business, not with individual personalities. Okay. So very much through watching, learning, observing, I got a real quick understanding of how they do what they do. And then within the 7 to 10 days, I felt like I was very much good to go. I believe I've got quite good ideas when it comes to social media anyway. And I'm not quite old enough yet where I feel uncomfortable in front of camera. Although I feel like in the next couple of years, I'm probably going to fall off a cliff and look about 80. So I definitely need to get moving, that's for sure.
Okay.
Okay, nice. So you're talking about like you posting on social media and TikTok. What's your schedule like during the week? Do you like post consistently?
So I was doing. I mean, if anyone goes to my content, they'll see I was averaging between 3 and 6 posts a day consistently for about 8 weeks, and then the next 8 weeks, nothing. And my growth I went from 12,000 to 180,000 followers in the space of 3 weeks, and then it took me another 7, 8 weeks to get the next 20,000. It just completely stopped because, unfortunately, somebody in my house, my family, has become incredibly ill, and they're currently going through chemo.
Oh.
So I found it really difficult to create content while somebody's essentially fighting for their life. So what I've done is I've taken, people can look at the post and they'll see I went to like 1 or 2 a week, and there was no effort in them. And then this last sort of 10 days, I've really picked it up again. And I'm really utilizing the lives, going live on average about 4 hours a day, which for turnover with regards to the gifting, that's really been really successful, to be honest, more successful than any of my posts.
Oh, wow.
I've had a couple of posts go semi-viral, but I really would say going live and the interactions with the people that follow me is my sort of, I wouldn't say my USP, I wouldn't say that, but we are creating a community where if somebody says they've been bullied, they're on their own, they feel vulnerable, my 20 moderators will all at the person, inbox them, bring them on into the family. And then what you're finding is, because they're all leading by example, other people who aren't moderators, iron sharpens iron. So they're watching, learning, observing. And then before you know it, now we've got people that have been with us for maybe 6, 7 weeks who are experiencing the way that we deal with things. I say we, it's not I'm just a mouthpiece for what I feel is the start of a really positive community. And I truly believe if people tune back into my page in 12 months, I think we're going to go on to do very special things with bullying, working with mental health. And I don't say people with disabilities, I call them differently abled. So I can't speak of too much right now because I think we're too young in where we are on the page, but I definitely think there's big things to come. I'm not saying that to hyperbole it. I genuinely think we're going to make a lot of positive changes.
I love that. And I hope it all
Great.
goes well. And yeah, I love that. So for you, by gaining your following, do you believe that by you going live, it helped you gain your following? By you posting, what led you to gain your following?
First trap, which I'm really embarrassed to say. I took my hoodie off in a transitional video that got it's currently on 5.5 million views.
Wow.
And I do believe that alone brought in 100,000 followers, which in some respects I find kind of embarrassing, not because of the fact that I took my top off, that's not necessarily the embarrassing part. It's I want to earn through my personality, the people coming over to my page, I want them to believe in sort of what I believe in. And sadly, I know that around about half of my followers are just for the way I looked in a certain video. And I don't quite like that. It doesn't sit comfortable with me because I kind of feel like if I didn't post that video at that time of day and the right people saw it, I might be sat here on 120,000 followers, not nearly as impressive. So there is an element of I feel like I've got a bit of a false number next to my name right now, but I definitely feel over these next 12 months it's going to be purely based on what I believe in. And I definitely don't believe at 37 years old, being a father of 3, whipping my top off. It's not really what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So much so I don't even know why I did it in the first instance, but do I regret it? No. But I definitely want to use this platform for good, because otherwise, why was I put on furlough when I was in a really good job doing very well? Why am I on TikTok at my age? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I need to be able to help other people. Otherwise, I honestly think it was just for my own vanity. And I don't want that. I want it to be for my sanity and to help other people. And slowly but surely, we are definitely doing that. Like, I'm not going to bore you with all the stories, but we're having a lot of people who are saying that they've really been struggling, that feel really supported. And that's probably the most beneficial thing I've found since joining the app. It makes me feel better than any gift could ever make me feel, to be honest.
Okay.
That's great.
Yes.
So what do you think is your biggest accomplishment in life?
In life?
Yeah.
It's very easy. Being a father to my 3 children. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. Always will be. You could put 100 million next to my name on TikTok. It would pale in, like, it'd be insignificant compared to being a dad. So that is absolutely my biggest achievement for sure. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes, that is.
it's also the truth. So
Yeah.
Of course. And do you have any like fan experiences yet? Anything you
I
want
actually
to
do. I went to, I don't know, the equivalent of Walmart, I guess you might say. It's called Tesco over here.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm based in the UK for anyone that can't tell by my accent. And a lot of people think I'm Australian because of the hair and the surfer look, but
Okay.
no. Anyhow, I was there the other day, and this girl looked at me, and it was like I had two heads. Her eyes went like saucepans, like, and I was like, "Yeah, you recognise me." And then she went to her mum, and I just heard her say, trying to whisper, but it wasn't really a whisper. I heard Bengy on the move, and I was like, "Oh." The mum and dad stare at me. The other siblings started staring, and I thought, "What do I do?" And shamefully, I said, "Oh, hi, how are you? Okay?" They went, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I thought, do I keep walking? And I thought the girl would be disappointed. She's like 8 or 9. I thought, right, this feels like the right thing to do. I went, would you like a photo? And then thankfully they went, oh, please, if we could. But when I walked out, I was like, imagine if they said, no, I don't, you creep. And could you imagine?
Yeah.
So I took a little, I got somebody with me to take a video from the side of what was happening. And then the funny thing was, and I put it on a montage the other day on my TikTok channel for anyone that wants to see it. And the girls who follows me, so she commented saying lovely to meet you, which was nice. But yeah, everyone at the self-checkout was all staring like, who is this guy? And obviously, in my opinion, I'm next to nothing, of course. But yeah, that was interesting that everyone was just staring, thinking, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I think they was thinking. Who knows what they was thinking? They might have thought I was a creep. You never know.
Yeah,
You
it's
never
true.
know.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like imagine like if people started coming up to you like in I guess in public, you'd be like, okay, let's take a picture. But
Yeah. I'd
you
be
know,
scared. Like I wouldn't know what to do. Imagine
Yeah.
she would have said no. That would have
you
been
know,
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It felt nice. It did feel nice. I can't even lie. Like it felt really nice. But imagining the people that have got genuine, do you know what I mean, claim to fame. Imagine you're halfway through a mouthful of food and you look over and someone's got, do you know what I mean? And like I
Yeah.
say, this is not my first experience with social media. A few years ago, I was on a night out, eating my burger at the end of the night. And like in my town, a lot of people know who I am. And I was looking around and like, it seemed to me, at least in my paranoid state, that everyone was watching me eat my food. And again, the same thought process was like, imagine being Beckham. It'd be horrible. It would be horrible.
Yeah.
But staying positive, yeah, it was a great experience. I loved it. It was really good. Yeah, it was really good.
Nice. Okay, so what's one thing that social media has taught you?
If you don't have thick skin, broad shoulders, don't think of being a content creator, because they will come for what your children look like, what you look like. They will, for example, somebody gifts you on a TikTok live and you thank them for it. Thank you ever so much. If people don't have disposable income, please understand you can double tap the screen, and that's equally, you know, as important to us. Somebody will come on and say, you're begging for money, you're a beggar. And it's obviously not the case, but there would, like, I think a lesser person would second guess themselves. So my assumption would be the vast majority of people that I know on social media that do well, there's a saying, a lion doesn't turn around when a dog barks. And I think that's a mindset you must have. That's not in a big-headed way, putting yourself on a pedestal, but you must understand if someone's coming towards you with negativity, you need to sometimes hold up a mirror and show them who they are. Like, I believe I'm a good person and I want to see the best in everyone, but I'll never be bullied. That is one thing. And I don't know if you guys have come across my content or not, but if you ever watch me live, if anyone talks about the appearance of somebody else, like, I don't care how much of a big gifter you are, I don't care how much of a big following you've got, because I've had examples of both. I will stop the show and hold a mirror up and I will take them to task on it for as long as I feel necessary. And it can be uncomfortable for people to watch, but don't tell me one of my friends has got a weird stance and you can't stand their face. Like, respectfully, DM them and tell them that if you really want to be nasty. Don't say it to 100 impressionable people watching, because if I don't take them to task on it, I think, in my opinion, it's almost like I condone it. And I'm absolutely not having my name attached to negativity. So yeah, ultimately, getting back to your original question, it would be, if you want to be a content creator, please make sure you know who you are and you are very comfortable in who you are, because you will second guess yourself at times on social media, for sure.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, so just steering off a little bit. What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear has always been, don't know why, losing my sight. And then this is not a shameless plug. I promise you, I'm not doing this, but genuinely, it's always been that. My little brother runs for Team GB, and he's currently waiting to see if he's going to go to Tokyo for the Paralympics.
Okay.
He's registered blind. And again, his name's Zach Shaw. I may as well plug him if I'm going to go this far. And he just broke his PB yesterday, running 10.8. And he's kind of, life's given him lemons and he's turned it into lemonade. Whilst I completely am in admiration for what he's done, I don't believe I would be strong enough to be able to do that. I really don't. I just couldn't imagine if you just close your eyes for 10 seconds and someone tried to tell you, like, explain an orange, and you've never seen an orange before, like, it instantly makes me full of like frustration and almost anxiety. So yeah, I can't turn it towards social media and make it relevant to what I do, but just genuinely, what is my biggest fear? Losing my sight.
Okay.
And I feel like that's a dreadful answer, by the way. I must say, it feels like completely dreadful, but it is my truth.
No,
Yeah.
but I hope
that
he
makes-
makes it into the Olympics. That's so exciting.
Do you know what? Honestly, even if he doesn't, the fact, I said this to him yesterday, when you're fat, 45 years old, and the athletics are behind you, people won't talk about a gold, silver, or bronze in Tokyo, Rio, London. The time next to your name will always travel with you.
Very
You are a
true.
10-second runner. A
That's
10
crazy.
second. He was 11.02 for the longest time. Now he's a 10-second runner. And do you know what? Other than being the absolute diamond of a brother that he is and such a sweetheart of a lad, that's his biggest achievement for me, because you're judged on your time. I'm judged on viewing figures. I won't be judged on how many people behind the camera I help. People won't judge me on that. They'll just be like, oh, they only got X amount of likes or views. That's their truth, and I respect that. My truth is, how much of an impression am I leaving on the people that are close to me? Don't get me wrong. I want a big account. I want growth. I want success in everything I do in life. But I'll tell you what, I'd rather have 10 people say I've helped save their life than 10 million followers and it's all fake because I took my top off.
Yeah.
Very true.
That was a very good answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what do your days consist of?
Good question. Really good question. The structure of my day, during school time, typically what I would do is I'd take children to school, go to the gym. Ideally, I'd look to create some content, which truthfully, it's an hour and a half. It doesn't take that long, typically. Collect the children. Midweek, I'm currently working in the care sector whilst on furlough. So I've just got myself a new job. So again, 9 till 9 on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. I don't want to go too far into it, but I work in the care sector, so I'm not solely reliant on social media. And then on the night time, this is actually really terrible, but sort of like 10 p.m. till 3 a.m. recently, I've just been on lives. I've started looking at ASMR, just basically whispering into the camera, because I want to be a CEO of something, and I ain't going to be singing. I'm not going to be dancing. So it's going to be either ASMR, or I'll find my niche eventually, because as much as I've got a message to tell with regards to differently abled people and so forth, and I know I've got a message, and would it be school assemblies? I don't know ultimately where it's going to be, but I do definitely appreciate on social media, sometimes you've got a quick window of opportunity, which is AKA your content, to bring them in. And then I like to think on my lives is where they actually learn about the person behind the videos. And I like to think when people look at my content and then actually see who I am, the two don't marry up together. Like, I expect them to think I'm not necessarily silly or funny. I don't really know what they expect me to be. But I think when they meet the person behind the content, I think they're quite surprised typically. But people will see, you'll see for yourself, like my lives are very different. Sometimes I'll dance around. Sometimes I'll have a deep chat about domestic violence. We can go in any direction, naturally we go. But typically speaking, people do find that I'm a little bit different to what they expect from the content. So yeah.
Okay. So can we play a game called This or That?
Oh, geez. You could have told me about this before we went live. Go on.
Okay. Texting or calling?
Calling, because with regards to texting, you can read it however you want. It's
Yes.
always open for interpretation. So definitely calling.
Okay.
Okay, day or night?
good one. Let's go day.
Okay. Sweet or salty?
Oh, it has to be sweet. Salt is not even an option. Sweet.
Okay. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Okay. TikTok or Instagram?
TikTok.
Okay.
Okay. TV shows or movies?
TV shows.
Okay. Jeans or joggers?
Joggers all day, every day.
Okay.
Okay. Save or spend money?
I believe saving money gives you ultimate peace of mind. So I'm going to say save.
Okay. Attend a party or host a party?
Definitely attend a party.
Okay. And fast food or healthy food?
Healthy food.
Okay.
I did not want to say that. I did not want to say healthy food. We have children watching. Healthy food.
Yeah. Good.
For
Okay.
sure. Well, we just wanted to say thank you so much for being on. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and do you know what I want to just say as well? Please, God, we go in a direction that I think we are. It'd be lovely to perhaps recap later down the line. And not only that, but I have checked out your content and such a young podcast compared to other podcasts that I've been watching recently. I think you two both do a fantastic job. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you.